The beginning of my book starts with two Nazi spies walking down the street in Times Square, all these people walking past. These two Nazi spies have been, they're carrying a satchel of papers. Those papers are all about their plans to blow up New York, kind of a 9/11 type of situation. If the United States enters the war. And this is in March of 1941. So something's going to happen. America looks like it's going to be in the war. And these two spies are walking through Times Square when one of them is struck by a car, fatally, run right over. The other spy, instead of attending to his buddy there, picks up the satchel and runs away. So the cops are called to this fatal scene in Times Square. They look at the dead man, they pull out the papers out of his pockets, and it's a Spaniard, according to the papers. And the cops say, okay, let's check with who is this guy, this dead guy? And they go to the Spanish officials in the United States, in New York, the consul's office, and they say, there is no such guy. These papers are forgeries, they're phonies, it's not our guy. So the cops go to J. Edgar Hoover at the FBI, and he's clueless about it. But the people that do know who the dead guy is, as it turns out, is the British spies at Rockefeller Center. And the way in which they find that out is the other spy who runs away with the papers. He writes letters to the folks back in Nazi Germany about what has happened. Now, those letters, when they would go out in ships and going to Europe, would go through Bermuda. And there was, if you've ever been to I believe it's the Hamilton Princess, the older, very lovely hotel. But in the lower floor there was a whole censoring operation where they would literally go through the mail coming from America to Europe, and they found this guy's letter, and it turned out that there was a mention about this Times Square incident, and eventually they wind up finding where that surviving Nazi spy is. And there's a whole Nazi spy ring, and eventually Hoover gets these big headlines about it. But Ernest Cuneo was involved in all of this. What was fascinating to me was how, in many ways, by today's standards, he was part of the deep state, not the rhetorical deep state that we hear and talked about. But there are indeed people in government who have permanent positions, and they're the people, administrations may come and go, but those people who work, usually in the civil service positions, but they're the ones who know how to really make the trains run on time, to make all these various different operations work. And Ernest Cuneo was one of those.